Hey everybody, welcome to Everyday Journey. Today I just thought I'd share a little story. Um, this is not to say anything good about me per se. Um, Hopefully more of something to influence you so that maybe you make better choices in life. Let me just tell you what happened. One day, and this was a little while ago, but one day I was giving my son a ride to school, right? And on the way into school, I noticed a weed eater that's over on the side of the road, right there by a mailbox, in front of a house. And I think to myself, that's not right. This is early in the morning. There shouldn't be a weed eater out there. Nobody's doing anything yet. So I go ahead and I take my son to school. On the way back through, though, I stop and I look, and sure enough, there's the weed eater. The house is for sale. So me, I'm thinking, okay, this is not right, but sometimes people leave stuff out there for free for people to pick up, and I'm like, I believe it was a steel weed eater, professional weed eater, and I'm like, this is not right. It didn't look perfect, but it didn't seem like it was worn out. So I look at the weed eater. I go over to the house, like I said, it's being for sale, so I nobody was home. I go up there, I try to knock on the door because I was going to tell them, look, left this weed eater. And nobody was there, place was empty. So I'm like, well, what do I do? I walk across the street and I go and knock on the door over there hopefully the neighbors, knew something about it. Got no answer. So then I'm like, well, if this was me, I'm thinking this thing got left, and so if it was me, I'd want somebody to do what I'm doing, which is I wrote a note, I put it in the mailbox there at that house. I took down the information for the realtors, and I went ahead and took the weed eater, put it in my truck, went ahead and went home, and I called up the realtor and told him, look, this is the address, this is what I found, and they didn't know anything of it. They didn't even know of anybody that was taking care of it, as far as the house anyway. So everybody was at a loss. They were going to try to contact the owners and figure out what the deal was. But anyway, I got home and I primed it, fired right up. It didn't look that great, but again, it was a working professional weed eater, steel model. So this is probably 300 minimum, at least when it was new. And I run a lawn care business, so I could use that, but at the same time, I would feel horrible if I left my weed eater and somebody didn't do the same thing for me. Well, nobody calls me. I go later that day and I go pick up my son. And I think on my way in, to pick him up, I decided to stop at that house real quick that was across the street again. Ask those people. I get there and guess what? They are the ones who, well, not them specifically, but this lady answers the door and it was her son's. He runs a lawn care business, and they were just talking right before I showed up about what could have happened to it, and he knew he was out $300-400, and he was ticked, so I go in there and I tell the lady, look, I'm the one who found it. Here's my address. Have your son go ahead and stop by whenever he gets done doing what he's doing, and he comes by there, he picks it up, and he's so grateful. He's like, man, I don't know what I was gonna do. Yeah, I could go buy another one or whatever, but that's a lot of money to come out all at once. And he said, we just happened to be doing that yard the night before, and it got dark, and it got left behind. And it could happen. This could happen to anybody, even to you. And I see, yeah, I could use it, but at the same time, I would hate for that to happen to me. So I'm not going to take anything that isn't mine. If I didn't earn it, I don't want it. And hopefully he felt the same way. I don't know for sure, but he was at least grateful that I returned it. now he's not out anything. He can go out and he can continue doing what he does. Same thing I do. And I don't even know the guy. But maybe he'll go on to do better things because of it. And hopefully, this is, what I put this out here for is for you guys. Hopefully draw some inspiration from this and do the same thing, because, you can always do good things. There's it doesn't even have to be something exactly like that. It could be somebody gave you too much money at a restaurant as your change. Why take from them? Because they may be more hard up than you. So just try to think about things and try to do what's right. Try to do what you think other people, would want done. And you know what? It hasn't always happened. I haven't had the perfect life as far as things go. But I think there's been more good come to me than bad. And maybe it's because I do things like this. I don't know. I can't really say for sure one way or the other how my life has turned out the way it has, but you know what? It can't hurt. Just continue on, do good things for other people, do what you would want people to do to you. The golden rule. So again, I just thought I'd put that out there for you. You guys don't have to think anything good of me. Just try to do better for yourself and for everyone around you.